All right, let's do this. So, actually, what I want to do right now is I want to essentially practice some songs that I have not practiced in a while. So let me go into Ultimate Guitar and let's look at my tabs and then let's go to, I guess, sort by not name, but sort by date perhaps. Yeah. Okay, cool. And like one of the oldest songs here is Girl. If they don't know your word. And if I want to monitor chat, I guess I could, let's see, split view and pull up tab so we can have both of these up. Yeah, cool. Let's see. Oh, on the bottom. Darn it. One sec. Split a view tabs. Yeah, right there. Go to like my channel and then I could just make sure. Yo, what's going on, Benjamin? How are you, man? We got sound coming in. Yeah, dude. iPad mini. Still using it. The only iPad that I have currently. Um, I've been giving some serious thought into like when they do come out with the Pro. Like originally, my plan was to like definitively sell my 2018 12.9 inch, and I did sell it and use this, and then like get the latest iPad Pro this year, which I think we all expect is coming out. I think that there's still a very good chance that I'm going to do that. But I've been spending a lot of time on my new MacBook Pro, and that has been really just amazing, right? Using Ableton. I know you're an Ableton user as well. So using Ableton and yeah, man. You know what? Actually, yesterday was like kind of an epiphany for me. It was okay. I was down here in the studio and I was just chilling. I was actually practicing the piano a bit and filming my, today's actually, hey there, Delilah, chord progression video last night. And then I just felt inspired to do some other music stuff. So I was sitting on my desk over there and I pulled up Ableton, and then I'm just like, oh, let me pull up Koala Sampler, which I did. And I looked in Koala Sampler and saw like the Ableton export feature, not just to export to drum, which is really cool. I didn't experiment with that too much, but I was able to just very easily export and airdrop a Koala Sampler set and pull it up in Ableton on my MacBook. And then it kind of like clicked for me a bit. Just to, same thing with Gadget, right? Get songs started and on the iPad because it's so, or the iPhone. I have my iPhone as well. And then bring them into Ableton and kind of just get a little bit more comfortable in that arena. I was never very comfortable in Ableton. But now I'm getting there, and it's pretty cool. So I'm definitely excited about that. You said you love your MacBook M1. Yeah, I use Koala to Ableton thing. Very cool, very cool. Yeah, so I'm super excited about that. I'll probably do it a bit more, learn some ins and outs and stuff, and then eventually make a video on that. But going back to the iPad, so I have been doing video editing, and I'm curious to know what you use actually for your video edits. Do you use LumaFusion or something else? I chop the samples in Koala and build the drums simpler simple ideas. Gotcha. Very cool, very cool. Yeah, there's just so many different ways, man, to use it. And obviously we have Ableton 12 coming out soon, so like there's some really cool things that they have in there that I'm actually very excited about, like from a sound organization perspective. There's also this sort of, again, maybe an obvious thing, but for as long as I've been dabbling with Ableton, not like extensively, but just little bits here and there. Um, I didn't realize that a lot of these amazing synths that we use on our iPad, like Moog, mostly Moog, I've been checking out just now, but if you have them on the iPad, you can get them in Ableton like for free, right? You just go to the App Store and download it, and then it's a VST. I didn't know that. And so now having this expanded sound library to kind of mess with, I'm very excited for. And then on top of that, I was like giddy with excitement It's a weird word, but I really was. I was like distracted. I couldn't even like watch the show with my wife yesterday without being like without thinking about this. But I saw that Arteria, I don't know when they came out with this, but I've been in the market for a USB-C based MIDI controller, and they have one called the maybe it's Mini Lab. I forget the name of it, but I got like the all white one with like the white black keys, like all the keys are white, even the black keys, and yeah, I mean that is like for me having a having a MIDI controller that is not wireless sort of defeats the purpose from an iPad perspective, in my opinion, because then it then requires a dongle or some other way to have your audio, your headphones, and your peripherals connected, and it kind of just takes away from the immediacy of the iPad. But that is not true at all on the MacBook, right? So this earlier today, actually, I posted something on all of my socials. So it has like, I have my MacBook, I have this keyboard C, which is right over there. Let me go grab that because I need some water. 1 second. Yeah, so I have this thing, which is a USB-C, controller, and I think this is a fantastic. It's a really, 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 really good controller. So shout out to Keith McMillan and the team there. The thing about this that I love the most is that obviously you have your keyboard layout, but you can use these are like finger drum, these are finger drum here, right? As opposed to like keyboard, things. So you can still get your chords and do things like that that you need to because the layout is the same. Obviously, it's nowhere near, pressing actual keys or anything, but it's a really, 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 really nice piece of hardware. I hit them up today. I'm waiting for them to respond, but I wanted to know if there was a way to configure some of these buttons here so that you could like I don't use tilt, I don't use press, I don't use sustain on here, or I don't use toggle. So I'd love to be able to like configure those, like disable what they actually do and use them for something else, like record or metronome or whatever. So yeah, so that this is kind of what I am thinking of. You said you don't edit videos. Oh, that's interesting, dude. I just use iPhone 15 and record and upload. Wow, I do have LumaFusion, but I only use it for Koala Bcast. Very cool. Yeah, the Arteria Mini Lab works well. I don't have I don't. Oh, okay, you just use your phone. Very cool. I use MPC MPK Mini plus 30. Okay, very cool. And that's interesting about the editing videos thing, man, because I was, let's see, I was I was trying to convince myself that I needed something different than LumaFusion, because again, I have my phone, and real quick about the point you made about using your phone, my iPad is a little bit redundant at this point in this whole journey. Like I don't actually use my iPad like that currently. I use my MacBook and I use my iPhone. I'm trying to think actually. Let's think about this for a second. So when I'm doing video editing, like quick things. I'm using my phone for that. I deleted LumaFusion from my iPad because I didn't want to have it on like all places. It was like becoming a little bit distracting. Obviously, Core Gadget and Koala Sampler. Koala Sampler, technically, I can use that on my phone. So that's another thing that I might consider sort of migrating, right, from my iPad and using it on my phone because it kind of makes more sense. Um, and then you have something like Gadget. I would say right now. Oh, and of course my tutoring, right? Like when I'm doing remote lessons and stuff like that. I can't do that on my MacBook. I need to be writing on a screen or something, and I can't really do that on my phone either. So that's like definitely an area that I would say I still probably need it for. Um, all good over here from Zimbabwe. That's dope, man. The issue with editing videos, it takes too long to get thoughts to the consumer. And you're so right about the editing. So I'm kind of bouncing all over the place a little bit, but my thoughts with that is I was trying to convince myself that now that I have my hands on a MacBook Pro, I've been using LumaFusion on the MacBook, right, which is a little bit counterintuitive to what they stand for, right, from a touch-based video editing perspective. But I was using it, and I'm like, this works quite well. I have like one of those little overlays, which I think you saw, Benjamin. We were chatting about it. That you have the Ableton one, which I'm curious about. I have questions on that. But I was using that. It has like shortcuts, and I was like, okay, this actually works quite well. So I was enjoying that. But then I'm like, wait a second, like why am I using an inferior this thought crept in my head. Why am I using this inferior, video editing software on a platform that it's not meant to be used on. It can be, but not meant to be. And of course, that's the MacBook. So I was like, all right, let me go ahead and try to, learn Final Cut. And I have a 90-day trial. So I was using that for a little bit. I would watch a little tutorial, all the while thinking like, dang, I don't really care that much about video editing. And I've known this for a while about myself. I'd much rather do this. I'd much rather get my thoughts across in a live setting, or a casual, non-edited video like I've been doing these top-down ones, and I know Benjamin, you do those as well. I'd muchly rather do that. And so, my strong suit is, and my passion is not video editing, it's music, it's other areas. So the long and short is I deleted Final Cut. I'm back to using Luma. But I'm being thoughtful about what you mentioned too about the iPad. Like it is redundant in a way in this current setup, aside from one or two things like I just mentioned. So very interesting. We got my man Big Tower in the building. What's going on? Ableton on the MacBook Air is incredible. Yeah, I mean it really is. Ableton on the MacBook Air. I was having a blast using it today. I'm like, all right, let me go through some sounds on here. Let me organize, some of my songs. So figuring out just the workflow and not like making an excuse. I used to make an excuse like, oh no, Ableton, computer, mouse. I don't want to be in front of a computer. Blah blah blah. But it's so. Oh wow, I don't feel like moving, adjusting the camera and stuff, but there's like that's a beautiful. I mean, I'm looking outside in my studio. It's it has snowed in New Jersey where I live, and so I'm seeing like the snow and like I have like a nice wooded background or backyard background, and just a deer just walk past the window, and I'm just like, God's beauty. That's pretty cool. But yeah, just learning Ableton and allowing that maybe to be my home base, right? Maybe Ableton is home base. Maybe Ableton is the place where all music ends up at one point or another, right? So like, okay, let's think about that for a sec. The OPZ, okay, OPZ. I'm not gonna stem out stuff from the OPZ. That's not really cool to me. I'm gonna maybe do a live performance of a song that I created on there, and I'll record it in the arrangement view, wouldn't I? As opposed to the session view where I spent most of my time. The deer is back right now, or maybe this is a different one, because one just came from here, it came across, and then dang, I'm barely on screen, guys. Y'all didn't let me know I'm not on screen. Let me rotate this one sec. Like 80% of my body's off screen here. Let's see. And you know why it was like that is because I was trying to frame it to get that YouTube thing in the back. I felt like that was important enough, but not at the expense of you guys not being able to see me, right? So let me finish saying what I'm saying. Let me just make sure we're checking this out. Again, I wish I go on YouTube. I was able to like zoom in and see the chats a little bigger. You say, yeah, I love the overlays. Yeah, I like the natural videos with real people who aren't selling an image to me. Interesting. Real humans who make real mistakes like me. What's good? Very interesting. So you know what's cool about that? Okay, so you're one person who likes that. There are probably a lot of people like you who like the authenticity of the videos, and then there's probably a lot of people who are not like you who want the cleaner video, the less mistakes, the shorter video, like that type of thing. And for me, like I got a really like like I got a mean comment on my YouTube video the other day that I at first didn't know if it was like a troll or what the deal was. Um, but I ultimately kind of settled on I don't really care. I just moved on from it. But my big thing was yeah, making the types. MKBHD said this, making the types of videos that you would want to see, and that feel right to make, and rocking with that. You know, listen to your audience some, but not like don't go over the top with that, right? Because then it becomes, in my opinion, I'm not no expert in this stuff, but I know a thing or two for sure. Um, Darren Snow, Ableton is just great. Is just great for music making. If I'm into sampling and adjusting audio, Ableton. If I want to sequence, Ableton. Yeah, yeah. So you're right. So my thoughts here again is like, all right. So where are most of my amazing? Where are most of my songs that I've created? Where do they start from? So Core Gadget. Okay, so Core Gadget, we can easily get all those songs into Ableton little by little. So that's one. Um, cool. Koala Sampler, easily get them in. That's two. As sets, as live sets, mind you, not just recording the audio. And then the OPZ, like I just said, like, okay, let me get into that. Like this, it's just so obvious now to me. Like, all right, when I'm doing these like little um, performances on the Z for myself and just listening to them and vibing out, I can have the USB-C connected to Ableton. I can be, I can record, I can get good at performing on there because that's part of what, you sequence is one part of it and it sounds good, but then it might sound great if you either sequence some of the performance stuff or actually perform it live. And I was inspired by Andre 3000. Um, doing a lot of experimental stuff with his album and doing stuff live and the mistakes or like whatever, like that spoke to me. So that can go right into Ableton as well, easily. And then you got this, and you got like this keyboard. Okay, so now you talk about okay how this keyboard interfaces with Ableton, and now we talk about the bread and butter of production for a pianist and keyboardist like myself. Like I want to be able to produce with a keyboard in front of me, ideally, because that's my main thing. I want to be able to play some chords. You know what I'm saying? Let's put this down for a sec. I want to be able to like this type of thing. And then you got. I'm still figuring this out because my voice probably sounded different just changing perform or changing live sets on here. I gotta, yeah, sooner than later. But yeah, so I'm definitely in a good space creatively. Very, very, very interesting. You said I get mean comments, but the reality is it's from people who don't make videos and have less than 20 subscribers. Yeah, that's exactly what my wife said when she saw it. She was like, "Who is this fool? You got like 4 subscribers? Yeah, you got to record videos that just make you happy. Otherwise, it'll feel like a job." Very true. And at times, I mean, this kind of is my job too. That's the other piece of the puzzle. The other piece is like, what is your ultimate goals? Well, right now, my sort of focus this year from a tutoring perspective and from a content perspective, these are the two pillars that have been my bedrock for the past several years now. And this is the first year where I've made a deliberate stand at saying, all right, well, one of these is primary and the other one's secondary now. And the primary one is this. This is primary to me. This is what I can do and just feel better doing it. And I see the path forward and I see the relationships that I'm kind of making with brands, with companies and stuff like organic ones. I'm learning from mistakes. I'm learning from experience, all different kinds of things. Like I think that a major part of the puzzle is, and I should also say from the tutoring perspective, just letting things happen as they will. Like I just had a mentoring tutoring session just earlier today with a college student, and I love that. I love being able to work with kids and adults. Got an adult working with next week who's studying for her PhD. Is that right? Or her master's? I don't remember. But it's a blessing, right, to be able to do that. But it never felt right doing the cold calls or reaching out to people and trying to get new students and stuff like, or even when I run into someone at Lifetime at the gym and then I'm like, oh, I'm hitting it off with this person. We're chatting. It's a nice vibe. I don't, I want to mention about what I do. They might have a kid or they said they have a kid or whatever, but that just never felt right. So I'm just kind of like letting it, letting it be, letting it happen the way that it will, but putting in some deliberate effort in this product and Chordmaster's brand and obviously with my tutorials that I'm doing every day. And hopefully you guys are enjoying those and learning and inspired by those. And yeah, so that's what's the haps on my end. 30 minutes of euphoria. Do I need an interface to connect my KO2 to Logic Pro on iPad? Currently, yes, until TE allows audio to pass through. That's a great question, and I didn't know that. I was actually curious about that as well. So there's no audio going out of USB-C on the KO2. That's pretty interesting, and that's not an issue. Actually, I think I did know that. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, but that's not an issue for me and for others who may have something else to route through. And like my TX6, for example, is kind of what I would rock with. Yeah, right now I can only send MIDI notes to Logic through the USB. No, gotcha. Okay, okay. Very interesting. Hey, Fla, what's going on? How are you? Thanks for joining. It's an interesting name. Where did the name Fla come from? FLAH. Just explain to the people if you don't mind. This also has some like, oh man, it has such cool. All right, check this out. Mm. Such a good keyboard. Such a good keyboard. All right, let's see where Fla came from. My last name. Okay, here we go. Yeah, the OPZ and OP1 field and TX6 allow you to. Okay, gotcha for sure. Just not the 133. Is that the right number? Um, my last name is Flority. Not that creative. My buddies call me Flogger. Oh, gotcha. Very cool. No, that's creative, man. I mean, it's not, but it's cool though. It's okay. You said it. You said it first. Um, cool. I think that's a dope name. Yeah, exactly. What does it mean? Just half my last name. No, I meant what does your last name mean? It's Irish. Not sure the original meaning off top. Oh, gotcha, gotcha. Cool, man. Cool. Yeah, I just said cool way too many times. But I was gonna ask a question. Oh yeah, so koala sampler. I was just thinking today. I wonder what's next for koala. I wonder what's being worked on right now for koala. Um, yeah, curious. Any thoughts? Yeah, I'm getting nice with that song. I love it so much. Um, I can't speak on what's coming for Cabo. Big things are coming. Oh yeah, you're probably in the mix more. Gotcha. Yeah, you're in the mix. Hey, thank you, Fla. Appreciate that. And Alberto, how you doing, my friend? Thanks for the thumb up. I'm only a year into lessons coming from a drummer, and I feel like a caveman learning this side of theory. Hey, if you have any questions, hit me up. Hit me up. Let's go. Let's get some questions going. How much time do we have left? We got like 10 minutes. My wife about to get off work. We got to do a Costco run. We got to pick up the daughter. Things to do. Things to do. Mm. I'm on the bait. Oh, cool, cool, man. Damn, I appreciate you looking it up for real. Cooler than I expected. Bright ruler. Oh my, that's you can't get better than that. Bright ruler. Sheesh. So you should be here. I should be. We should be watching you right now. All right, I gotta go get ready. Let's read these comments right quick. Likewise, my friend was good. Alberto, I do make multi T related music videos and jam sessions. I'm still a little fishing. I'll sub you. Yeah, same here, man. How can we sub you easily here? See, they don't make it easy. I don't think in here. If I hit your name, no, they do. Boom, I can go right to your channel. Yeah, I'll check you out, my man. Yeah, I mean, I think that would actually be good to do. Like, just be. I don't know if there are shout outs on here. Um. Hmm. Um. Yeah, I followed you just now. Yeah, man, that's a classic right there. What about this one? So we should, when we're doing that, we should probably. And then I really got to bounce. I don't want to get yelled at right now. She wouldn't yell at me, but I don't want to disappoint her. Whoops. No, I don't like that. Oh, that's decent. That's cool. And then also, let's see. Hang on. This keyboard is just so damn fun. What about here orchestral. The sounds on here are crazy. It's insane how good this sounds. Um, yeah. So I got you subbed. Yeah, I wish there was a way like to do shout outs like there is on Twitch. Maybe eventually we're gonna get some better things going on here on YouTube. There actually are going to be better things happening on YouTube, I think. Thanks so much, bro. What's your channel name? Got you back. Yeah. All right. So yeah, you guys keep the dialogue going. I might just keep this up. No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna do that. I gotta take my phone. I gotta go. But I'll be doing a lot more live streams, guys. Yeah, yeah. I like doing this when I feel into. Ooh. That sounds so cool. Hmm. Hmm. Damn, that sounds so good. Yo, I'm glad you're feeling it too. All right. They don't call him Khordmaster for nothing. Exactly. Yeah, you said it. You already know what's up. Appreciate you, man. All right, I gotta run. Have a good one, everyone. I'll see you guys later. Make sure you sub, hit the the bell, all that nonsense. And I appreciate you all hanging out with me for a little bit, man. That means a lot. You should do it. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed your message. A core pack that your watchers can sample and flip. They have a showcase. Then have a. It's a great idea. Great idea, bro. Let's talk about that on Discord or some on the next live stream. Um, yeah, let's go. We got our first sale right there. I'm gonna hold you to it, Flaw. All right, y'all. Peace. That's a great idea. I like that. I like it. I like it. I like it.